right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, automakers Kia and Hyundai say solutions are coming to St. Louis after record car thefts. Our I-Team tracks down the promise of a quick fix.
Wednesday warm. The big change coming later this week that could have you firing up the furnace.
And our top story, the death sentence. That's the jury's decision after a St. Charles County man killed 4 people.
3 generations were wiped out within a matter of minutes.
Richard Emery cried in court after hearing the jury's recommendation today. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Jurors deliberated Emery's fate for about 2.5 hours today. Our Robert Townsend joins us now with reaction from prosecutors and investigators.
Mike and Ann, the jury had 2 choices for Emery, either life in prison without probation or parole, or the death penalty. The final decision will be up to the judge.
This is a human story. It's a human tragedy.
Last week, Richard Darren Emery took the stand and gave his account of the deadly night of December 28th, 2018. Emery didn't deny shooting and killing his girlfriend, Kate Caston, her 8-year-old daughter, Zoe, her 10-year-old son, Jonathan, and Caston's 61-year-old mother. Emery said it felt like, quote, he was there but not there, and compared it to a game of Call of Duty, but he did not know who was controlling the game. Friday, the jury found Emery guilty of 4 counts of first-degree murder, and now jurors say Emery should die in prison for the crimes he committed.
I was not surprised by this, but it was nonetheless eye-opening.
In court Tuesday, Emery sobbed and held his attorneys after the jury's recommendation was read. In fact, crying could be heard throughout the St. Charles County courtroom.
The family's memories live on, no doubt. It was a trying 4 years for the family. It was a trying 3 weeks, to say the least.
Throughout the trial, defense attorneys built their argument on Emery's borderline personality disorder. They said he was in a dissociated state when he murdered the family and should only be convicted of second-degree murder. However, prosecutors insisted that Emery was aware of what he did.
We feel like justice has been served, and we hope this brings a little bit of closure and peace for the family and the victims of this incident.
Today, family and friends on both sides packed that courtroom. Again, prosecutors say the judge will hand down Emery's formal sentence on November 3rd.
Robert, thanks. Tonight, a former middle school teacher is in jail facing child pornography charges. St. Louis County Police say a cyber tip to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children led them to 36-year-old Scott Ellis. He's charged with 6 counts of possession of child pornography. Investigators say Ellis had thousands of videos, some marked with the victims' names. Ellis was a teacher at Rogers Middle School in the Afton School District from August 2019 to May 2022. Tonight, Afton officials tell 5 on your side concerns about inappropriate conduct were recently brought to their attention. In a statement, the district says at that time, district administrators investigated the situation and immediately filed a report with the Division of Children's Services in compliance with Missouri law.
Tonight, an O'Fallon, Missouri man is charged with stealing an ambulance in Festus and leading St. Louis police on a chase. According to court documents, Dwayne Vardaman hopped in a Valley ambulance at Mercy Hospital Jefferson yesterday morning and sped off. Police say he sped through 2 counties and the city of St. Louis, hitting 2 police cruisers and another car along the way. It all ended in South City when police say Vardaman jumped out and ran off before getting arrested.
Tonight, communities all across St. Louis came together to celebrate National Night Out.
About 100 events tonight meant to strengthen neighborhood spirit and police community partnerships. New at 10, Brent Solomon takes us to a couple of tonight's celebrations.
In the 3rd Ward, you can call it a party with a purpose, music, dancing, and food. You're looking at Tuesday night's National Out event on North Grand and Herbert, bringing out people of all ages, even the mayor mingling, making new friends.
Everybody can meet, greet, and get to know everybody. Neighbors can get to know everybody. The police can get to know everyone.
Danny Mosby walked to Bell Reef Park for the celebration in his neighborhood. He brought his 2 little ones with him, 3-year-old Skylar and 2-year-old Ace.
Had to bring them out and let them have some fun.
Organizers say that's what this is all about. family-friendly fun.
So we have a chalk art contest. We have, the magic show's about to start. I've been coming to this park ever since I've been in a stroller, and I just want to really build community at the park.
Bringing people together is just the beginning. It's also about connecting them with those who protect and serve them. Enabling one-on-one conversations like this to happen. Building trust with police to take back their neighborhoods. What more can we do as a city to fight crime?
So, we're always focused on transforming public safety, and that means making sure that we deploy the right resource to the right call to make sure that our officers don't carry the total weight of the burden of fighting violent crime.
Mayor Jones says that's why significant investments are going directly into communities, thanks to federal ARPA funds. These neighbors say they're on board if it means a better and safer St. Louis.
All of the senseless craziness can cease to happen anymore.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Tonight's events were also aimed at preventing drug use.
New information tonight about a shooting that injured a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old boy. St. Louis police released these surveillance photos today. They want to question these people for last month's shooting near Fairground Park. The teen victim told police someone fired shots in his direction, hitting him. The 9-year-old was also playing outside and also shot. Both are still recovering, and police want anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. The man accused of vandalizing the Scott Joplin house in Midtown St. Louis is now charged with burglary and property damage. Police were called to the house Sunday morning after someone passing by spotted artifacts on the street. Officers found Kevin Daly Bay on the second floor and arrested him. Preservationists are adding up the damage and aren't sure when the historic home will reopen to the public.
Tonight, the search continues for Hurricane Ian survivors in Florida. 108 people in Florida and the Carolinas have died as a result of last week's storm. In hard-hit Fort Myers Beach, more than 1,000 search team members from 11 states are still going door to door right now. They're combing every structure, home, business, and even cars. Tonight, Governor Ron DeSantis is doubling down on his message to potential looters.
We've been very clear that in situations like this, we're not going to let bad actors exploit them. That means law and order will be enforced. That means individual Floridians' right to defend themselves and their homes will be honored.
Tonight, there are still more than 400,000 Floridians without power. President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden will tour the devastation tomorrow. Several St. Louisans have joined the Hurricane Ian recovery and relief efforts in Florida. 5 on your side's Laura Barchetsky spoke with a couple of volunteers who are on the front lines. Laura.
And the volunteers I talked with today say the devastation and need continue to grow every day, so much so that many of the people that were on standby here in St. Louis have already arrived or have been asked to deploy to Fort Myers and other parts of Southwest Florida.
The storm surge was 18 feet high, and it came so fast that they had 5 foot of water in their house just like that. Like they literally had to swim for their lives.
St. Louis Red Cross volunteers say over the last 2.5 days, they've finished their initial damage assessments in Southwest Florida. Individual home assessments start Wednesday.
What we're seeing a lot of is trees down and shingles off the roofs and things like that, but without electricity and the gas lines are very, very long, so we have a shortage of gas. There's no ice to be found.
Red Cross emergency response vehicles continue to go out to areas still without power to provide food and cleaning supplies. The Fraternal Order of Police is helping too. 3 members from the St. Louis Police Department are helping feed 1,500 first responders at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's really great when you see the looks on the first responders' faces. We give them a hot meal, a place to relax. We've got a big TV out here. They can watch ball games.
St. Louis police officer Kevin Albrand says many of the first responders can't even stay in their own homes.
We were in a subdivision yesterday, and there were 2 100-foot boats in the middle of the subdivision. So it's just astounding what damage was caused.
So while local police officers are out helping residents, FOP members are helping them put the pieces back together.
We have crews that do roofs. We have crews that are armed with chainsaws. That we do a lot of tree cutting. We're helping with the flood damage also in homes. We're helping people cut out drywall.
Missouri Task Force 1 is also on the ground in Florida. They've been working on search and rescue efforts as well as damage assessments around Fort Myers and Fort Myers Beach. Ann.
Thanks, Laura. We've partnered with the American Red Cross for Project 5's Give 75 campaign to help raise money for Hurricane Ian relief. You can make a donation by texting the word donate to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
Tomorrow, Missouri Governor Mike Parson will sign 2 tax cuts into law. Both were just passed in a special session of the Missouri legislature. Last week, lawmakers approved cutting the top income tax rate from 5.3% to 4.95% next year. If you make more than $8,700, this applies to you. The measure also eliminates the lowest tax bracket, people who bring in less than $1,000 a year. Parson will also sign new agriculture tax credits into law tomorrow. The $40 million package was approved earlier today.
Easy to steal, but difficult to fix. Tonight, the I-Team looks into broken promises to Hyundai and Kia owners. Candy-colored pills. Just one can deliver a deadly dose.
This is every parent's worst nightmare.
Tonight, the childhood toy now being used to smuggle rainbow fentanyl.
Whether it's Cardinals postseason baseball or high school football, I'll show you why you may need a couple of extra layers Friday night.
New tonight, Hyundai and Kia say solutions are coming to consumers after a record spike in car thefts.
Suspects have been using social media to spread how easy some makes and models are to steal. The I-Team's Christine Byers tracks when and if those solutions will arrive, why it's taken so long, and if drivers think it's enough.
John Dvorak's Kia didn't even get stolen, but the would-be thieves still did a lot of damage trying to take it.
I wake up early one morning to go to work, and I just walk over to my car, get in it, and the window's just ripped out of the door, and then I noticed my steering column's completely torn open and that they had tried to steal the vehicle.
He took it to get fixed.
They said, oh, parts are back ordered and it's going to be a while.
That was in July. So far this year, St. Louis County Police say 885 Hyundais and Kias have been reported stolen. That's about an 875% increase compared to last year.
Multiple people within the apartment complex got hit. Some people had their cars stolen, but just like everywhere else in America that has people that own a Kia, they're just getting broken into and stolen.
The wave of thefts isn't just costing consumers. Stock value of Hyundai is down 21% year to date. Kia's is down 11%. And the automakers face multiple class action lawsuits. Both automakers say their vehicles are not defective and consumers chose not to buy more expensive models that came with engine immobilizers. John Dvorak says it's not his fault.
Everyone would have assumed that every car made has these immobilizer kits. So it's really a kind of a slimy response to try to blame it on people buying cheaper cars.
Dvorak got his car from his brother.
So when your brother bought the car, did he have any idea that he was electing not to buy an immobilizer?
He did not have any idea that the car didn't have an immobilizer.
3 months after the I-Team started reporting on the surge in thefts, the automakers say they're offering some solutions. Both are sending steering wheel locks to St. Louis City and County Police Departments. As for Hyundai Motor America, the company promised to make glass break sensor kits available October 1st to deter thieves. In most cases, thieves break the back window of the car because it isn't linked to an alarm system in the car. The automaker sent us a list of authorized dealerships and installers that would have them. We called and emailed multiple dealerships and installers Monday. None of them had the kits or knew when they would arrive.
I'm very in tune in the industry. I would feel like I would know something about that.
Dvorak says consumers shouldn't have to pay for the problems.
And that is kind of shady that they're not doing that for free. That should just be a free fix.
Both automakers say they are also working with social media sites to remove content that shows how their vehicles are getting stolen. And engine immobilizers are now standard on all of their new vehicles. Back to you.
Well, tonight, a new warning from the DEA about so-called rainbow fentanyl pills. Federal agents in New York recently seized more than 15,000 pills hidden in Lego boxes. The multicolored pills look like candy. Just one can be deadly. Authorities call rainbow fentanyl a clear and present danger.
It's treacherous deception to market rainbow fentanyl like candy. This is every parent's worst nightmare, especially in the month of October as Halloween fast approaches.
A New Jersey woman has been arrested and charged in the case.
Country music icon Loretta Lynn has died. Her rags to riches story and string of hits started in the 1960s and earned her legions of fans. She recorded and toured well into her 80s. Tonight, a memorial is growing on Lynn's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. A moment of silence was also held at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. Her family says she passed away peacefully in her sleep. Loretta Lynn was 90 years old.
The Jewish holiday Yom Kippur began tonight at sundown. The Day of Atonement is the holiest day on the Jewish calendar. During this time, Jews look back on past mistakes and make amends. Yom Kippur is observed by attending religious services and fasting. The holiday ends tomorrow night with a meal to break the fast.
Another gorgeous week. We have been so lucky with this weather. Scott, what's coming up?
You know, there's a big change happening, but it's not until the end of the week. Of course, just in time for high school football, right? And the Cardinals coming back home for a little postseason action. Look at that sunset tonight. Tonight's sunset comes to us from O'Fallon, Illinois, and just enough high clouds around to make it a bit colorful for us this evening. 75 was our top temperature, which is pretty close to average for this time of year. But look where we started. 45 officially at Lambert. That's a 30-degree bounce, and some of our outlying areas, especially east of St. Louis, were down into the lower 30s. In fact, Mount Vernon's down to 45 right now. Over in Flora, it's 45. Warrenton's 48. Most of the rest of the area generally around or a little above 50 degrees tonight. In St. Louis, we're still 59. Of course, we have the urban heat island, which does include Lambert with all that concrete out there. The dew point's 43. The wind has gone calm. We just have those high clouds, so we do expect temperatures to drop. We'll be right around 50 degrees in town tonight. Outlying areas still upper 30s, lower 40s. The coolest areas should be east of St. Louis. Now for tomorrow, it won't be quite as picturesque as today. There'll be a few extra clouds into the mix. You're starting out around 50. It's a dry day. It's a little warmer than today. We're close to 80 for the high temperature tomorrow, but there are changes on the way. And those changes are showing up here out to our north and west, where we are finding showers that are falling across parts of Minnesota down into Iowa, stretching down into Kansas. This isn't the main weather system that we're watching, though. There is colder air and a stronger cold front up in Canada that's going to come down. So we get a couple of cold fronts coming through here Thursday into Thursday night. First one's through early on Thursday, but it doesn't have cool air behind it, so we should still be close to 80. And then the really cool air slides in as we head through Friday into Friday night. It will be chilly at Friday night football games. Cardinals supposed to be home this weekend, at least for Friday and Saturday, we think. Right? Maybe Sunday? If necessary. Sunday if necessary. So you've got your high pressure. It's chilly. It's going to be cool Friday night. We get into Saturday morning. Some of us will see our first opportunity for frost. Think most of the metro gets out of it, but low spots especially will be down into the mid-30s. We've already had some spots with a patch or two of frost here or there, and some a little more than that. So you get the more widespread opportunity going into Saturday morning. So Saturday's a cold start. You get your cool sunshine, low 60s, 72 on Sunday, and we have dry weather as we head into the weekend. In fact, that's one of the problems, really the only weather problem we have, is the fact that we haven't had any rain, and we really could use some. The last significant rain we had was about the 10th or 11th of September, so almost a month here going by without much rain. 60s over the weekend. Heading into next week, there is at least the chance for a shower or maybe a few as we head towards Wednesday. And just a quick check on the tropics. There is a system that we're monitoring down here. National Hurricane Center has its eyes on this. This will approach the Windward Islands, and it should stay well south of the U.S. at this point. Plus, there's another tropical depression that has developed out far in the Atlantic. That's not going to pose any threats to land.
Love Corey with that assist from the sideline.
Yeah,
there you go.
But it is that time of year, right, Scott?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Frank is off. Corey Miller is next with sports. He's already helped us out.
Well, if he doesn't crack the lineup in the finale tomorrow, we may have seen Albert Pujols' last ever regular season at bat tonight in Pittsburgh. And of course, he went out in style. We've got that and a look at Albert's career crushing the Pirates coming up next in sports.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
Let's call it what it is. These last 3 games for the Cardinals in Pittsburgh mean virtually nothing. The Cards know they'll be hosting the Wild Card Series this weekend, and all that's left is to get pitchers some work and keep guys healthy. Oh yeah, and see if Albert Pujols has any more regular season moments left in him. The Pirates honored Yadi and Albert with some cool custom bases before this one tonight. And as scheduled, here's your nightly Pujols moment. A 2-run single in the 3rd to put the Cards ahead. He'd hit the pepper grinder coming up here and come out of the game right after that hit. Here's what you don't want to see, though. Star closer Ryan Helsley had to leave the game as a precaution with a jammed finger. You know they're going to need him this weekend. This game went to extras where Juan Yepez was the hero in the 10th. He drives in the winning run. Cardinals win 8-7. So if he doesn't play tomorrow, and that's the last we see of Albert in the regular season, he certainly went out in the place he's owned the most in his career. With tonight's stats included, Albert finished with a career average of .374, 35 home runs, and 101 RBIs at PNC Park. By far the best stats of any stadium in his career. I get the feeling Pirates fans won't be too sad to see him go. The Cardinals look like they could be on deck to face the other Pennsylvania team in the wild card round, and the Cards and Phillies have had some classic playoff moments over the years. Of course, there was the rally squirrel you saw right there in 2011, and the memorable NLDS clincher in that series, thanks to Chris Carpenter's Game 5 gem. These 2022 Phillies can beat you with the long ball, courtesy of guys like Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, but as you might expect, the Cards, they don't really care who they're matched up with.
That's everything in our mind, you know, like winning the trophy. Right now we're in a really good spot, waiting for whoever to come, and we're going to be ready for them, whoever it is.
Elsewhere in the baseball world, Aaron Judge was making some history tonight in Arlington. Here's his 62nd home run of the season. That passes Roger Maris for the single-season record in the American League. Certainly one of the most impressive seasons we've seen in recent memory. Before the regular season even starts for the Blues, they've got some big questions on defense. They already knew they were going to be without veteran Marco Scandella, and today they learned they lose up-and-comer Scott Perunovich for at least 6 months due to shoulder surgery. The Blues had a preseason game tonight, too, hosting the Minnesota Wild. First up, it's going to be a sick feed from Robert Thomas, which we see all the time. We're used to that. Pavel Buchnevich buries that one for the beauty. Later on, it's going to be the youngster Jake Neighbors trying to crack the squad. He gets in on the phone with a goal there. Blues went on to win it 4-2. Now let's get back to Perunovich and his injury. Here's what Craig Berube had to say earlier in the day.
Yeah, it's tough for him, tough for the team. He can't catch a break. You know, we're taking a look at a lot of guys here in camp on the back end now, with Scandy and Perunovich being out for quite some time, so we're going to need guys to play.
Well, if you think your fantasy football league is cutthroat, just be glad you're not in John Hamm's league. St. Louis's native son was on Monday Night Football's Manning Cast last night, dishing on his league filled with other celebrities that has a pretty compelling incentive for winning the title each year.
It's Jimmy Kimmel's league, and we decided at a certain point, Bill Simmons is in it, Cousin Sal, we got a bunch of guys in it, and that the winner of the league would get to kick out one person at the very beginning, but you could not say who it was going to be until the day of the draft.
Mike, I'm glad our league doesn't do that, but I will give you a shout out because you have one win, I have one win, but your one win came against me this year in pretty dominating fashion, so I'll give you props.
Again, Corey, for both of us, just one win so far this year.
That's true.
Not good.
No.
All right.
I know
Corey.
nothing. All right. An Apple appeal. The Missouri community searching for the core of its annual celebration.
A stunning reversal tonight. Elon Musk has decided to follow through with his original $44 billion bid to buy Twitter. The social media company is currently suing the Tesla billionaire for trying to back out of a signed deal. Speaking of Twitter, the platform has rolled out the edit button. Right now, though, It's just for Twitter Blue members in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The edit button, though, allows 5 changes to a tweet in the 30 minutes after it's posted.
The town of Clarksville, Missouri will hold its annual Apple Fest this weekend. There will be apple butter, apple pies, apple cider, all the things apple. But right now, they don't have any actual apples.
What?
Organizers are still looking for a vendor. Know anybody? We have more information in the As Seen on TV section at ksdk.com. Have to keep you up to date on that one because people might want to go, but without the apples.
Got to have some apples. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
It is 80s night. Jimmy's guests are Ralph Macchio, Jennifer Beals, and Leah Thompson. Have a great tomorrow.